If there's one question that sparks as much divisive debate as Donald Trump, it's the way the media covered Donald Trump. Frank Luntz, the Republican pollster, explored that question on the night of the debate, the Texas debate, with a focus group in Houston.
How many of you think the media has been fair overall to Donald Trump? Raise your hands. So it's most of you.
All the media has been saying is that he's hit his ceiling, he's going to be out of the race in a month. That's all you hear over and over. So I don't think they've been fair.
So then the question becomes, is the media manipulating Trump, or is Trump manipulating the media?
Trump is manipulating the media.
Go ahead. Right there.
He is absolutely manipulating the media, because what he does is what he does as a CEO.
At least I read that Trump says yes to every interview, and most of the other candidates are selective with their interviews. A lot of people won't come on Fox News or wherever, but Trump will go anywhere. He's on MSNBC, he's on all the channels. You can't blame him for that.
The media is trying to tell the story. They want Trump to be the freak show that represents the Republican Party, so we will lose.
And joining me now here in Washington is Frank Luntz, who's also a Fox News contributor. So that woman says the media wants Donald Trump to be the freak show representing the Republican Party.
Hopefully I'm not part of the freak show. Hopefully I'm not one of the freaks.
What do you think of her point?
The point is fair, because they ask him questions to try to cause him to explode. And he does. He gives them the ammunition.
In a way that the journalists don't do with other candidates?
I was watching Chris Wallace on this network this morning. Absolutely held Trump's feet to the fire, and some of the stuff that Trump said I thought was pretty controversial. I give credit to Chris Wallace, but you know what? What that respondent said there was absolutely true. Trump does give the media the chance to get at him. He does every interview. He's on TV. This morning on Washington, D.C., he was on competing channels at the same time.
Chris Wallace was also very tough on Ted Cruz this morning. But by the way, people say free airtime. If he's being questioned by journalists, then I think we want more of that. Okay,
and people want more of that. They want to hear what Donald Trump has to say.
So others in your group said the media maybe are even too fair to Donald Trump, maybe giving him too much airtime. But as one man pointed out, he's constantly out there putting himself in the line of journalistic fire. And I think he doesn't give credit to that. Let me play something else from the focus group we did. It was fascinating responses, by the way. And some of the talk turned to Marco Rubio. Here we go.
Why is it that when I read the blogs, all I see are complaints from Trump people that the media doesn't treat him well? What's the problem?
This Fox News seems like the Rubio channel. It seems like they're always behind Rubio.
You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I don't agree.
Everything we hear is, you know, Rubio this, he's the little darling, and the snide remarks.
So people are convinced that Fox or some other channel or some other network is for or against Rubio or Trump or Cruz, as if everyone's getting marching orders.
I give you credit for putting that. I'm shocked. That would never be on CNN. That would never be on MSNBC.
If it were about that network.
If it were about their own network. So good for you for putting that on. Yes, and I get it all the time. If I go to the Trump blogs, then Fox is in the pockets of Rubio. If you go to the Cruz blogs, it's in the pockets of Trump. If you go to the Rubio blogs, it's in the pockets of everybody else. People see what they want to see, and they disregard the rest. We are all seeing things through rose-colored glasses, and it becomes almost impossible to be fair, which is why these debates are so important, because it's the one time when you can actually hold the candidates accountable.
But just briefly on Rubio, I mean, the notion that he's a media darling, after he had that performance where he was sort of hammered for being robotic and then finished 5th in New Hampshire, everybody in the media beat up on him, and some practically said he was finished. So it's not like the entire business is pumping up this guy.
He's a great communicator, and they're conflating good communication with support from the media. They think that because he always sounds good, because he always sounds reasonable, therefore the media is in bed with him. And that's not the case. But Rubio has won the last 2 out of 3 debates. And yet,
in your view, or in the view of the public?
In the view of the focus groups,
yeah.
And yet it hasn't moved numbers. And that's what I think is significant, that these debates, we're now just about to enter March, that these debates, even though they're still watched by 14 or 15 million people, that the debates don't have the impact that they did because people are no longer undecided. It becomes much harder to move people.
So it doesn't matter what questions journalists ask at these debates or in interviews. It sounds like you're saying the race is getting kind of frozen, despite all the focus on the way we cover it.
When they ask questions about their persona, which the public has a right to know,
yeah,
then the audience boos because they think that it's an ad hominem attack. When they ask questions about policies, they have dealt with almost every policy. There have been, what, 10 debates?
Right.
So they've covered everything at this point, so there's nothing new. So the only way to get something new is to watch them fight with each other, which is entertaining, but it is not informative.
You're a word guy, and so I see Rubio, who was repeatedly saying throughout this whole campaign that he's running on a positive message and that it is not his job to knock down the other Republican candidates, clearly shifting tactics. And look, he's been hammered by Trump, and saying things like Trump is a con artist. He says that in every other sentence now, saying things like Trump is a clown act. Does that change the tone of the media coverage and the way the press views Marco Rubio?
It not only does it change the coverage, it now gives full license for everyone to be flat out hostile to everybody else and to be as rude as you possibly can be.
Wait, you're saying the media are encouraging the war of words among the candidates?
What do you think
they don't seem to need much encouragement, Frank.
No, it's just like camera's on, red light is on, go. The problem is it has created an uncivil environment. My focus groups, I could not stop people from talking. We went live, and I actually had 2 women who were speaking who I could not pay attention as we went live because they were so angry with each other that they were arguing. Howie, we've lost the civility, we've lost the decency. I hope that we get it back between now and November.
I'm with you on that. I also think the media, and particularly when it comes to Donald Trump, you know, really missed this year the anger and frustration
Absolutely.
Out there that is now so evident and that you've picked up in your focus groups. Frank Luntz, thanks for being here.